Sorry about that, guys. I got kicked off, so I'm getting really, that's a Walmart truck. I'm pretty sure we've all seen a Walmart truck before. That's a UPS, mail truck. There's ThyssenKrupp's new trucks, okay? So if you ever see a Dodge Ram, that's what a ThyssenKrupp truck may look like, okay? In the future, okay? That's because of the logo, changing and stuff, and miles on the old trucks they had. So that's what the new trucks look like. Look pretty nice. Don't you guys think so? Engineering tomorrow together. This is what the School of Nursing has. Look at this. This is a beauty. I have never, ever in my life known about these two in the School of Nursing. Look at this. Otis, black button. This, amazing. These two elevators are amazing. The floor in this one's a little cracked, but these two are secret and nay, but beauties. So we'll talk more about them next year, though. But for now, let's stick with here, okay? We're probably gonna end it after we do this. I have one more thing to show you guys. So once we're done with this, probably see if I can get my live stream people, my Skype people on here. I'm not gonna take too long in here, but once I get my Skype people on here, we'll talk about them. We're gonna talk about something else, include our grades this year, okay? Because we're almost done with our school year, okay? 3 weeks, probably. So let's keep that in mind. All right, now we talked about the East Liverpool City Hospital. We talked about Old in the Fire. First thing we did, lesson 1. This was the remains of being old. Okay, this is the north of the fire. We learned about the fire proof, which was of the fire that was not too hot or not too cold. It was just right. Okay. So let's see where the step led us to. The step led us to this, the north car. Identical malfunction problems on one. It's car on the outside. That's about it. All right. The operation, we haven't really scheduled it yet. So we're going to look at some pictures of him now. Pretty much original. Notice that the cow was repainted. The north car was born in 1954. And the oldest elevator in this hospital is right here. That's right. There she is. And he was a true survivor in the Ohio elevator war. Of him on each floor. Here's some facts about him. Okay. And this was when Ryan Reedy made his move to protect, watch, and love this fine old Otis. Okay. All right. So, guess what? We haven't got the report back yet, but when we do, I'll let you guys know how it went. I hope it's good, though. Okay. Then we had the questions for him. 1930, of course, was when he was built. We compared and contrasted the North and West car and how they were different. And then we learned that whether they are old or older, same with us, still very special no matter if they do or if we do face a lot of problems or if we have cancer, okay? And we learned that we are special no matter what, where we are, from where we are from, who we are, and what we do, okay? That's what makes us special. And there's a story of East Ohio, East Liverpool City Hospital. Okay, we did the overview for that. These in lesson 2. Right now, we're going to talk about good old East Ohio Regional Hospital. Lesson 1. Let me see if I can find it here. There it is. All right. First, and we figured out how to explain all these free elevators, how to explain a non-twin west car. We learned about the very interesting elevators in this building, including, all right. These two here were installed in 1980s, but had a child in 2003. Okay. We learned that the two West cars were built. The parent West cars were born on 11/8 in 1984 and 11/26 in 1984. We learned they were interesting. Then we learned about some of their events in the birth of the West car at the end of their side. Okay. So there's some pictures of them. Here, we already know some facts about them. Okay, we learned about the elevator child that was born on 10/17 of 2003. Those are pictures of him. We had a couple questions. Okay. And that's the West car family all right there. This basement, I mean, at the end of that hallway, in this basement is an old Otis. You guys see that old Otis down there? I'm sure we talked about that one. Okay. About that, okay. We're only going to be doing chapter lesson 1 in each, okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to now it's East Ohio Regional Hospital. Now we're going to move on to the Weir Medical Center. Okay. Medical Center. We talked about the United States Otis Mission Control at Weir Medical Center. Okay. Learned that the Otis Mission Control is at Weir Medical Center in Weir, West Virginia. And this hospital is dangerous than any ordinary hospital. We learned about the U.S. Otis Mission Control and learned about the brave freight elevators and dometers that went up into elevator space to fight for our elevator freedom. We learned the things that our freight elevators and dometers did for our elevator freedom when they were in elevator space at this time was so amazing. Okay. And then we talked about Team Passen 190, okay? Team Passen 190. Team Passen 190 was in charge of what? They were in charge of the U.S. Otis Mission Control. All right? They approved applications from any freight elevator or domewaiter that chose to go into elevator space. Okay? And we learned that if the elevator passes the interview after handing in the application, the elevator will be trained for about 30 months before going up into elevator space. And then we learned that if it doesn't pass the interview after handing in the application, the elevator will be asked to refill an application until that application is approved from Team Passen 190. So they'll have to come to keep filling in applications until their grammar and their statements are clear, which means that they make sense. Okay. And we looked at pictures of Team Passen 190, and we also talked about another part of the United States Otis Mission Control. Okay. So that's pictures of Team Passen 190. Team Serven 390 were the team of elevators that were in charge of providing health care. So Team Passen was the ones who improved the applications, and Team Serven 390 were the ones that were in charge of providing health care for the freight elevators and dometers that were in elevator space. And Team Serven 390 was the elevator team for the U.S. Otis Mission Control that launched a special elevator aircraft into elevator space. Okay. And we learned that any freight elevator domewaiter that goes into elevator space must receive a physical before going to the aircraft holding area. And that is the area where freight elevators or domewaiters are secured checked before going to the aircraft. Okay, and that security check involved any metal, any dangerous item, medicine, or physical slips from the elevator doctor that gave the freight elevator dumbbell. And then we looked at some pictures of Team Serven 390. Right? And then, of course, we know the differences. We learned the differences for this right here. All right, and we learned that the cabs were updated in the service cars in 2014. Okay, or late 2013. Right? Okay, so and I think they did have a really big job managing all these freight elevators.
You can get this stuff now. Unless you get it too late, then you'll be up all night. What's wrong, honey? Something. You don't really want to get up at near 5 in the morning, do you? You'll be able to see some trucks tomorrow night. I don't think it would be worth it. Which phone, honey? What's wrong? Talk to
Go.
What's wrong?
Go.
Oh, you're so mean to me. That's not nice.
Go, please. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, what I was saying was Team Serven. No, wait, where were we at? Let's try. Where was that? Oh yes. I was saying that it was a really big job to manage all those freight elevators and dumbwaiters that were in elevator space. Okay. Oh, yeah. I did the overview for that. In lesson 2, we talked about a couple of the freight elevators and dumbwaiter heroes that served in the USCS War in 2005. The United States Elevator War. Okay. That's chapter 6 of Weir Medical Center. Chapter 7. The good old Mullet Robinson. Okay, we're talking about Sears first. Okay. And not different how from chapter 1 to chapter 7. As it is only 22 minutes away from chapter 1 to chapter 7. Okay. So yeah. Learned them all open in October 2001. Okay. And learned that all the public movers and the small within elevators, we only talked about passenger elevators, okay? Now, Sears and Beaver Valley Mall closed. And Sears in the Mall Robinson was one of the few remaining Sears open in the Pennsylvania area. Okay. I talked about Rope Schindlersen. Okay. So we learned that Rope Schindlersen has always been very healthy ever since the day he was born. Other stuff about him. Okay. He got accepted to the USCS Child Life Services. His birthday. Okay. Which was in January, 4 months ago. Here's some pictures of him. Then we talked about Closere Schindlersen, right? And we talked about some pictures of him, right? Then we talked about the escalator a little bit. Now it's the escalator right there. Okay. All right. 2 elevators to Sears. 2 elevators and 2 escalators. Yes, he did have a freight elevator, and we are not gonna don't even mention freight elevator. Okay, we get in a lot of trouble for that. Any freight or service elevators, we won't talk about unless we have permission. Okay. Possible in the mall at Robinson. Okay. We're not going to have an argument about it, though. And in Chapter 8, we talked about Franciscan University. Didn't we? Okay. We learned about the elevator body. Okay. Right. We learned the center part of the elevator body was the door. It had 2 important functions. Now it's opening and closing in a proper manner. Okay. And there are elevators that have this problem, okay, with its function. But the one we look at here on the page after this is a great example of a healthy door operator, a healthy door system, okay? We learned that an elevator door is controlled by a wheel and legs. And remember, the legs are the most important part of the elevator door because they hold the elevator door together. Okay. We also learned that poles are another important part of the elevator body, regarding the elevator door, because they're the ones that keep the elevator door from closing on a user's entry to that elevator car. Okay. So those are the 2 very important parts of the center part. Okay. We know there are 2 types of poles, and the first pole was called a bumperosis. All right. Older elevators are born with this, and this is a piece of metal that is attached to the reliance, which is the main control of the elevator body. Okay. And then we learned that the second pole is called the sensoros, and this is what newer elevators are born with. And this is an electric beam that is also attached to the reliance. So both of these poles are attached to the reliance. Okay. All right. This is what elevator scientists have said before. Many elevators have had a sensorosectomy. Okay. Which is when an elevator has a sensor beam attached to it. Okay. All right. So that's that. Then there are also some newer elevators that are born with a 3D laser sensorosis, and that is a traffic signal beam. If it lights up green, you can enter. If it lights up red, you can't enter. Okay. So that's that. And then we have the 2 questions. And then we learn about the top part of the elevator body, which is the what? The car top. Okay. And its very important function was stamina. And this is what kept the top of the elevator body nice and strong. And how the stamina worked was in the elevator body, the elevator was born with something called arms, okay? And the arms are what holds the elevator stamina, right? If it didn't have arms, the elevator ceiling would have no stamina at all, okay? So it has to have arms in order to keep that elevator's ceiling to have stamina for eternity, for how long that elevator will live, okay? It also has another important function, and that is to provide light for that elevator, okay? Providing light for this elevator will keep the elevator alive for a really long period of time, besides eating and drinking the right foods for that elevator, okay? So that's another one, is to provide light. And the light's usually in the ceiling of the elevator car and on top of the elevator car as well, okay? So that's the top part. So there's the center part of the elevator body, and there's the top part of the elevator body. Okay? No, excuse me. Right, here's some healthy choices for an elevator. Some tips. What else is there? There's a perfect example of a healthy elevator, okay? Center part, top part up there. Here's some questions, okay? And they're basically the center and the top part of the elevator body are the most important parts because they provide protection for that elevator car and the nutrients for that elevator that it gets to help that elevator's parts provide that protection, okay? As us humans, we have different types of nutrients that help protect our bodies, and not one of them are elevator related. But stamina, energy, prolonging energy and strength, is what us humans, animals, elevators and escalators have inside of us to keep us strong for eternity. Okay? So that's chapter 8, lesson 1 of Francis University. And we talked about some social skills in lesson 2, okay, for an elevator, right? That's chapter 8, lesson 2. Chapter 9 was over. Ooh, this one sounds a little spooky. I don't know, but if you guys think this is spooky, then you know what? I feel sorry for you. The undisclosed location. Ooh, the undisclosed location. Sorry, better not say it. Most you guys can figure out Ohio elevator records. It is in Ohio, okay? This is where the poll's going to lead us, all right? Not every day we see an old Otis elevator that's spooky at some undisclosed location that is basically inside an old house. So an old house is haunted. And I would say the most haunted part of an old house is the good old basement. And guess what? We are going to talk about the basement and the elevator that's in the basement. We're going to learn about a very old Otis service elevator that is a basement winding drum machine. Okay? We learned that the building was built 106 years ago, but the elevator car was born at a later time. Okay? This is the only lesson in this chapter, okay? So that's the name of the building, guys. Martha Manor. Okay, Martha Manor is the name of the building, all right? I mean, that's the name of the building. Okay, you get the idea now. The name of the building is Martha Manor, all right? Well, Martin Manor is the name of the elevator car. He was born in 1958, and he is known for the spook scare of amazement in Steubenville, Ohio. All right, for elevators, all right? When he was just a little boy, in 1961, when he was only 3 years old, he has always thought that the basements in old houses were pretty haunted, and that's pretty true. You know, an old building and basements in some old houses, basements are pretty haunted. And the one that he lives in now is haunted. Right, and he also grew up in this one as well. He graduated high school in 1976 and went to elevator college to become an elevator detective. Okay. He learned about 101 detective elevator, and his teacher let him graduate at the age of 25 in 1983. That's some pretty crazy stuff. Here's some more facts about him. We learned about cough prevent. All right. And I spelled pneumonia. It's Pneumenoa. Okay. We're not going to worry about that, obviously, because this was done about 2 months ago, so we're not going to worry about that anymore. Let's go ahead and review cough prevents really quick. Okay, there's 3 cough prevents. There's cough prevent A, the main cough pill that calms the cough. There's cough prevent B, the cough pill that cuts the risk of lung cancer, and there's cough prevent 1C, the cough pill that keeps that cough from getting any worser. Okay, this was the 3 coughs. All right, 3 coughs. Okay. 3 cough prevention pills. Okay, this is what Ohio Elevator President said. So he already had this fair be done, and we want to see how long this illness will last for Martin that he has now. Okay. Going. Vintage, huh? Yeah, I'd show you guys. Listen, I'd show you guys the machine, but I'm not allowed to. Okay, it's a winding drum basement machine. Okay, we all should know that it can be overhead if it's in a house. You know what I mean? It's not hydro, it's traction. Okay, water drive traction or basement winding drum. Okay, and then we had some questions here. We had 3 questions. Okay, and if you want to make things less scary in the basement, all you gotta do is turn on that light that's right outside that elevator and brighten things up a bit for that basement. Okay? We're going to take a look at a couple of vacuum cleaners in the basement. Both Hoovers, right? Okay? And we did the overview. And we talked about the magic chair in Chapter 10. All right? So that's Chapter 9 of Reinforcement Manor. Chapter 10, the magic chair. Sounds interesting. The magic chair. The chair that moves up and down from side to side, horizontally. Literally. We talked about Bruno Commons. He has a wheelchair lift. Everyone who knows him considers him the magic chair. And you probably ask yourself, why is Bruno considered the magic chair? Well, here's a tip for you. Bruno's a chairlift, okay? That's why he's considered to be known for the magic chair, right? Now, remember, a chairlift is not like a porch lift, stair lift, or even a plain wheelchair lift. A chairlift is a type of wheelchair lift that runs up and down on a stairway. One floor. Okay, there's only one floor that it travels. It only goes down one floor and up one floor. And it has a chair with a control on the tip of the arm, okay? And we'll look at that later. Here are some facts about him. All right, he is funny. He's going to elevator preschool at first. He's going to elevator preschool, first thing. First of all, okay, this year in September of 2017, because he's turning 4 in August. Okay, Shilly's going to preschool as well. All right. There's a couple other elevators that are going to preschool as well. Well, only one of them is going to kindergarten at Francis University. All right, it's pretty interesting. But time flies when you're young. You get older and older each and every day. Okay, even if you are young age, and only 4, 5, or 6 years old, you get older and older every day, and you develop more. even if it's an elevator or an escalator, okay? That he's looked forward to going to school ever since he was free in 2016. So he turned free on August 6th of 2016, all right? So he was born in 2013, it'll be 4 this year, so he's going to preschool, okay? So can't wait to hear about his experience, okay? While he's in preschool, we'll be doing some advanced stuff, all right? I think we're going to talk about that towards like the last week of school, okay? All right, once we're done with all this. There's some pictures of him. Brunie Commons, however, is another chairlift that became Bruno's little brother. Bruno was a big brother to Brunie. Why? Because Bruno became a big brother in November of 2016 as another chairlift was born in his family. All right? Brunie is the newest member of the Commons family, all right? And he is a little brother to Bruno, who's 3.5. Okay? And Brunie is right across from him. And Brunie is about, how old is Brunie? How many months old is he? 1? He is 2. Brunie is will be 6 months. And he'll be 6 months on May 29th in 2 weeks. All right, he'll be 6 months. Okay. Bruno was all excited in September of 2016 when he found out he was going to be a big brother in November. He was going to have a little brother. Okay. We're going to take a look at some. We're going to take a look at some pictures of Brunie now. Okay. You also learn that Bruno and Brunie may look alike in some ways, but they're different in some ways as well. Here are some facts. Right? We also learned that Brunie's not going to preschool until 2020, right? And when Brunie goes to preschool in 2020, Bruno is going to be 7. Wow, 7 in 2020. And Brunie will be 4 in 2020. So 3 years from now, okay? And that's when I graduate high school. I graduate high school in 3 years, okay? And we're about done with our school year. We get out next Friday, so we have 9 days left. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Bruno is an amazing brother to Brunie, all right? I'd imagine it too. Let's take a look at some of his spring pictures. Yep, there he is. And you can actually pick up his remote and control him. You know what I mean? You can actually pick up his remote and control him. Is it best to steal that remote? No, you get charged for that. Brunie, all right? Brunie. That's him. Okay? Then we had some questions. All right? We had that. So then we did the overview for chapter 10, lesson 1. And then we went into Fort Steuben Mall in chapter 11. And in chapter 11, we talked about Steuben Mall at Macy's. Okay? We're about done here, guys. Okay, we're about done here with stream. So we have about 4 more things to talk about. Then we're going to go over this, and then I think we'll be done for the night. All right. We talked about Kaufman's, and of course we know that Macy's closed down about a couple months ago. We brought back some memories from it, okay? Was it the announcement? Okay. We talked about AK Freight. AK Freight, also known as Adam Kaufman. He was one of the very first elevators that were born at the Fort Steuben Mall when the mall opened in 1974. He was born 1/17 in 1974, and he wasn't just an ordinary passenger elevator in the mall when he was there, when he was open, right? He's closed now off to the public. He was an oil donorist, which meant he donated oil to those hydraulic elevators who were in need of it, just like Glassington, Glassington Schindler does at the mall at Robinson. He was just like him, who donated oil to those hydraulic elevators in need of them. And he's been an oil donorist ever since he was just 18 in 1992. And many people believe that his oil that he donated was very clean, okay? Now, he does it today, the same time as Glassington does. And has no plans to stop doing it unless he feels that he wants to stop or becomes deathly sick and can't do it anymore. If he becomes deathly sick, he's definitely not going to be able to do it. Because an elevator's hydraulic oil does contain a lot of germs, okay? So, AK Freight really doesn't want to donate germs to other elevators, right? So if he gets deathly sick, which I hope he doesn't, he won't do it anymore, okay? Of course, he graduated from an unknown elevator high school in 1992. It's 4 months after he took oil donor classes at his school, and 4 weeks before he started his oil donor's career. After his oil donor's career ended for that year, AK Freight went to an elevator college, started to become an oil lithologist, which was an elevator or escalator or a human that studied hydraulic elevator oil, okay? He graduated college at the age of 30 in 2004 after 12 years of studying to become being an oil lithologist. And he became one in March of 2004 after AK Freight's oilology teacher presented AK Freight an award for best knowledge, okay? Then he worked as an oil lithologist at the UPMC Elevator Center's Otis Science Tower from August of 2004 to June of 2015, which is basically 11 years, okay? This is why he was an oil lithologist. He was really lucky, okay? Because he was diagnosed with oil cancer, right? Okay? But however, his brother caused a halt from him and died of an oil dose on 2/14/17 at 9 o'clock p.m. at the age of 43, which we're going to talk about him later, okay? His brother didn't make it. AK Freight does have oil cancer, okay? But however, his brother took an oil dose and died. And believe it or not, he probably had oil cancer as well, okay? AK has been so desperate about the situation ever since his brother died. He didn't know what to do to help him feel to the point where elevators and escalators die each day of something, whether if it's cancer of some sort or electrical problem, something like that. He also lost his home on 3/28/17 at 10 p.m. after he didn't pay certain elevator bills for about 4 years. So he can't leave elevator bills. It's so important for about 4 years, because if he does, what's going to happen then? Well, he's going to lose his house. Right? And so he's currently living in an elevator housing project in Pittsburgh right now. Okay? And knows he should have paid those bills instead of taking time into his work as an oil lithologist. Because if he should have known that he wouldn't have paid those important elevator bills, he'd have lost his home, okay? Alright? So he was too wrapped up. And I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. Alright, so what's next? Yeah, AK Freight is trying to save his old home. Okay, but he can't do it until he pays out $500 to the U.S. Elevator Court of Housing. which is good at this point because he is really poor right now with only $10. Okay. Well, let's hope and pray that his future will go well. Okay. We're looking at some pictures of him now. Kind of running out of time, but we're going to try and finish this up here really quick. There's some pictures of him. And we did some questions. Okay. Then we talked about Monty. Okay. Some facts about Monty. Of course, he died on 2/14/17. Right? How his elevator president became friends with him in late 2008, which was his second freight elevator. All right? There's pictures of Monty right there. That's Monty right there. Okay? All right? And then we did some questions. Then we kind of went behind the door here. All right? So some back rooms at Macy's. Okay? So some more pictures. Then we kind of looked at that sign right there. We haven't gone to this point yet. Well, we'll get to this probably next year or something, but we always need to remember to think safety before we enter restricted areas, okay? Of a building, all right? Especially in apartments, so we need to think safety, all right? Just for our own caution, okay, of getting thrown out or something, okay? We need to think safety. So we did those questions, okay? And we did the overview. About Sears. Chapter 12 was basically over. Chapter 12 it was over the return of UPMC and modifier and Presbyterian. We went back to the past in this chapter right here. So basically what we did here was we did like a little project. We asked ourselves if we could turn from the future too soon. All right. It's a little fact. We went over some stuff. All right. This all goes back to chapter 1 and lesson 1. I mean, lesson 1 and chapter 1. Okay. This is acting up. Why is my computer acting up? I need to get it down to the PC place fixed because I don't know what's going on. So we're going to resume this slideshow here probably in this, then we're just going to finish up here, all right? We won't finish up tomorrow. We'll do it right now as quick as we can. Schindler, of course, takes care of these elevators. Okay. Elevators that are there. I didn't do those two. I forgot about them 2 Dovers. So I kind of forgot about them. I forgot they were even there. Those only went from 4 to 6. Surgical Center was up on 6. So those are basically, I don't know if they were service or passenger or not. But let's get back to this. Oh, there's the panel. Oh, there's the panel inside of them. I never got a chance to get a picture of the inside of the UPMC Ioneer Institute, okay? And this is a project that we did, okay? All right, so that was basically chapter 12. It was project. What about chapter 13? Is this not a project or what? 2. Whoops. I'm trying to think. Did we do chapter 13? We did chapter 14. Nope. We did chapter 15. This is the last chapter that we ever did this year. And the only lesson we did was lesson 1. Okay. Next year, we'll probably do lesson 2 and lesson 3. And then we'll, do something else after that. Do another nursing home. So, we talked about Sierra Village Retirement Community, right? Here's some things we learned about it. All right, we talked about Plunger Sierra. Some things about him. All right. He was born in Africa. Or I'm sorry, no, he saved an African American over. I'm sorry. I got that kind of. I thought because it said African American. But he saved an African American, though. Elevator resident that passed an oil attack after being 20 days without water in Africa. Okay. Then we looked at some pictures of him. Still original. We had some questions around him. All right. Then we had a new feature, which was what do we like or dislike about the lesson, okay? All right, so that's chapter 15, lesson 1. So guys, that's everything we have done this year. We've done from chapter 1 to chapter 15. Next year we'll do chapter 16. And then we'll just go on from there probably. We'll do some all kinds of different stuff probably next year. Next school year. We'll start in August. Probably sometime at the beginning of August or something. Okay. So we're going to go ahead with your project here. All right, really quick. I just want to go over this really quick. And this is what makes us special, okay? Actually, we can do it. We'll just do this tomorrow, okay? I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we'll go over this tomorrow when we have everybody here, okay? This will be one of your last grades for this year, okay? This is what makes you special, okay? This is the project, basically. This is what it's over, okay? It's what makes you special. Special. All right. Okay, guys. So we're going to go ahead and save this and do it tomorrow when everybody's here. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. I'll be more glad to answer it for you. Okay? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Elevating Toronto by Toronto Elevators and help us get to 200 subscribers. I think we're there or almost there. Whenever we get there, I'm sure we have something really special planned ahead. So be on the look. Be checking Toronto Elevators in the future. Be checking my videos, okay? Because you may see something really special that you've never seen before, okay? I know I got some things to upload from Wheeling, West Virginia, but until then, subscribe, give me to 200, okay? And thanks, guys, so much for supporting me, okay? You all have a really great night, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.